Well, hey there again, folks. Here we are. It's a Friday, and we're going to do a quick run up to Salaya, meet up with Bolt. He rides a Suzuki V-Strom 650, one of those adventure bikes from the Suzuki brand. It's like similar to the the Kawasaki Versus, I guess, in some respects. It is a V-twin though. Yeah, so we're going to meet up. A friend of mine on the Discord has found a property up there that he's thinking about renting. We've been talking about Todd and his intentions to come out here and live here. Unfortunately, so the street view on Google doesn't actually go down that far. So I'm going to do a run up there and take some footage, from the street. We're not going to go into the house. He's got enough pictures inside the house. So we're going to go and have a look around the area, just a bit of a cruise around, give him a bit more of an idea of what the living style of things will be up in around that area. And you're going to come along for it too and just check it out. Bolt actually lives up in Salaya, so yeah, stick around and we'll take you for a run. I still get a lot of flack from a few people on the channel, I think try to save me from my own devices. But yeah, going for a ride, like we're going on the main road there, so we've got the helmets, got to get the setup, get the gear set up, the camera's set up, you put away everything here. I've got bags going there, I've got, I've got masks. You can't wear the mask under the helmet because it's a full face. As soon as you put the mask on, it pulls off because it goes over your ears, if you know what I mean. But yes, so there's a bit of setting up to do. Got to get the gates open, got to get your gear on. But yeah, this is one of the things we have to deal with here when you're sort of going for a ride. Just making sure all the gear's all ready to go. It's again one of the reasons that I suppose a lot of people think it's a lot too much effort, just jumping in the car to go somewhere is the way you do things here in Thailand. This is just not going up to the local 7-Eleven. This is going across a couple of main roads where all the idiots drive, if you know what I mean. So yeah, getting your gear on is part of the process. Part of the life in Thailand process means that she's at work and I've got plenty of time during the day. Bolt, he actually goes by a Thai nickname of So Far, which basically means Thunderbolt, or around about that, or a loose translation. We've been talking on the Line app for for about a month or so now, ever since I found his channel. Yeah, there'll be a little channel link down below for his channel as well. He's only a small channel, but he's quite an intelligent bloke, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of commonality. He rides a bike, he seems intelligent, he knows a lot more Thai than what I do, which is a bonus. Well, he's been here for 10 years, so I suppose that's he's had to learn it because his girl doesn't really speak English. Whereas mine, she's been speaking English for the 13 years I've known her. At the beginning, she was only speaking a little bit, but she always wanted to do the English thing, which makes it harder for me to learn Thai. But she's always talking to you in English. This is part of the way it goes here, if you know what I mean. But anyway, so I've been meaning to hook up with Bolt and to see. Just have a bit of a ride around. So today's video will just be do some riding around, check out this property for my mate, and just have a basic chat. Where are we? We're ready to go. Right, yep. I'm going to stop off and get some fuel first. Oh, great. You might notice the fact that I've got a new microphone system on the bike. And well, that's just one of the things that happens when you reinvest some of your YouTube earnings back into your hobby, pay for those little updates and extras. Yeah, the new audio system I'm hoping is going to make a big difference. The first video test we did seemed to go through quite well, and now of course this is the first time we're going to go up and do a meetup ride. There will be more of these things on the channel in coming months. Of course, when the weather looks a bit more promising for no rain, if you know what I mean. this clong to the side of us here has a lot of fish in it. I always see these guys on the sort of side here fishing from these clongs. It is tidal, or it goes up and down with the tide. I'm not going to go and test the water to see how much salt's in it, but I think it's just typically stormwater runoff. Don't know how dirty it is, but the fish seem to live in it, so it's all good. As you can see, they've finished the concrete work here since the last video. That was a bit of an awkward situation we had there, trying to sort of navigate the dirt that they'd put on the road here. Oh yeah, I meant to sort of say, that's our Big C market there. They don't have everything. They have your basics. And we'll just stop in here and get our fuel. Ready, carb? Down nung, dem tang. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Cup and cup. Power up the this camera here. The battery life on this SJ camera, it ain't all that good. So we're just going to give it a bit of extra feed-in power. And she's still flashing, which means she's still recording. What's our time? I said 1:30. We're 10 minutes away, so that's pretty good. Let's get going. Do you love how that Mitsubishi didn't give a shit about that bike then? This is typical in Thailand. You've got to keep your eyes open when you're riding, no matter how experienced a rider you are. Actually, from memory, I don't remember actually sort of testing the microphone out with my visor closed. In my ears, it sounds very hollow, so we might have to have a little bit of a gap, just so it doesn't ring so much. You can't see the gap in the visor, but as soon as I put the visor right down, it makes a sort of a closed space. It'll still take a bit of working out what works best with the sound systems. One of the biggest problems you have here with Thai driving is the fact that every Thai person wants to be in front, and under no circumstances, it seems, can you leave 2 to 3 car length gaps between the car and you and the car in front, because as soon as that happens, the car behind you says, well, that's my space, I want to get in there because I want to be in front of you. And of course, well, that just creates a situation where, yep, there's another one, he has to be in front, dick. One of the asks to riding here in Thailand is always make sure the fact that you're keeping your eyes peeled, you've got decent rear vision mirrors, catching everything behind you, because as I said, like, look at this dick here, that's a breakdown lane, you goddamn jerk. And of course this prick's gonna fucking cut right out in front of me. Fuck off. So we said we're going to meet in the macro car park. I'm not quite sure where the entrance to macro car park is, so I might take a couple of little U-turns until I work that one out. Thai driving is all about how many U-turns you can get in any one trip, I'm sure. Okay, so that's the macro car park there. There's an entrance just there. So I think I just do a U-turn. motorcycles here. Now I'm probably first here, so I really don't know where he's going to hang out. I'm guessing that's one entrance. There's a motorcycle spot just here. If you are riding bikes in Thailand and you come to supermarkets, always look for the motorcycle parking, of course. Now, I'm not staying for long, so I'm just going to turn it around and make myself completely visible for him. Now we go through all the camera mount change process. As I said, motorcycle riding and filming is going to become a little bit of an excessive chore compared to what we normally did when we were doing the normal sort of day-to-day videos, because there's no camera change required, no microphone change required. You know how it is. But this is Thailand, and this is obviously what you have to deal with if you're a motorcycle rider. So yeah, look, here's Bolt in the big Suzuki. Let's have a look at the bike. Put the stand down. So this is the Suzuki, what do you call it, V-Strom. It's a V-twin, 90 degree V-twin. And that guy's trying to ring me again. I've got a delivery coming, you know what it's like. Okay, I'll put Bolt on because he can speak Thai. Okay, now they've sorted the delivery out, and we've got him mic'd up. Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the wonders of technology. Yeah, so this is the, okay, so he's got the same brand exhaust as my one. I didn't go for that big one. I've gone for something to really cut the dB down.
You get a lot deeper sound on yours.
Yeah, well, it's a smaller thing and it's got a lot more baffling on it. So it might be restrictive on the airflow, but I'm not a sports bike, so I can't see the point of putting a big flow through on there. And my biggest problem was the fact that I kept on burning my leg. The other one turned out here and came out like that.
See, the only thing I didn't like about these, I like the style, but I hate forward controls.
Well, yeah, the feet forward. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You do take a lot more weight on your bum when you're doing that.
Right, and you know, we do long rides, and you know, being in that position for 2, 3, 4 hours, it is not comfortable.
Yeah, well, I've done. Normally, when we go for rides, we'll stop at the hour mark, and then of course when we stop the hour, we'll, 15-minute break, have something to drink, and then we're off again.
Yeah.
So you do it in sort of 1 hour spurts all the time.
If I suppose I could set it up the way I like it. I could get some floorboards. Because if I had floorboards, I had somewhere to rest my foot. It wouldn't be bad.
You know any idea the price of floorboards on these things?
No idea.
$250 to $300 US.
Jeez.
I'm almost fill up my chair.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also really happy with the ride height.
I did find some Chinese ones, but like they look like they're made out of sheet metal.
Yeah, and they're for tiny feet too. They're those little tiny things. Yeah. It's like a saucer.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so this is they cut it off. They cut the pipe off here with the bend out, and they've just turned it back in and fixed it all up. But it really sort of cut the audio down on the thing, so hopefully it'll improve the quality of the sound on the rides. But it's all about the ride. So how long have you been riding for anyway?
I learned when I was 14.
Oh, okay. So you're actually about a year ahead of me.
Yeah.
I learned when I was 15. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I learned when I was 14. Then I actually started riding my first bike when I was in my 20s.
Right. Well, I had my first bike at 15. That was a moped, 50cc in England. Then went 50cc, 100cc, 125cc, 250cc, 440. I got the Kawasaki 440. That's when I sort of fell in love with the Kawasaki.
My first bike was a CB350 that it was like a 78 or something that someone had just abandoned on a property.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I worked on it, got it running, and worked my way up from there.
Yeah, anyway, so, and of course, when I got into my mid-30s and, I had a business and everything else like that, I really couldn't rock up to a client's site in helmet and leathers, and so I basically,
it depends on the business, but I get it.
Yeah, well, I was an IT engineer, so it didn't sort of work. It didn't fit the bill, so the bike riding sort of waned into the background, and when I got here, I said, oh, damn it, I've got to have a bike.
Yeah, that's, I worked my way up with a scooter here and had that for a year and then worked my way up here. But yeah, not having anything, I understand not having a car.
Yeah.
There's lots of things you can do without a car, but not having any kind of transportation, it can be rough, especially once you're out of Bangkok. When you're inside Bangkok, the transportation options are all over the place, but
now, when you come out this side here, you need at least 2 bikes. So we've got 4. I've got the CB, but that's Chanya's bike, which she doesn't ride anymore. It's too powerful for her.
Yeah, I think I saw her ride it once.
Yeah, well, it's just too much under the.
It's a lot of engine and a little bike.
Yeah, I actually quite like it. It's a nice bike to ride.
It looks like it'd be fun.
But again, I'm getting old, leaning into corners and going, flat chat. I value my life a bit more than that anymore.
I don't push this bike as far as it could go. I mean, this thing it'll really, really go if I wanted it to.
I'm sure.
But even on the expressway, I don't go much above 100, 110 kilometers an hour.
Well, that's the thing. I think anything faster than that, you start to worry about the idiots on the roads, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I always do, no matter what.
And we got panniers as well. Do you go on here?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got.
That's one of the reasons that I bought this one is it came with the hard bags and they're Suzuki bags.
Right.
So it's going to have the right fit, and you don't have to worry about the type of braces and brackets that they put on there. It's all from the factory.
Yeah.
So I was really, really happy about that. And they're easy enough to get on and off. When Joy and I take a trip, they pack all of our stuff for a week, really no problem.
Right. Anyway, we should go and check out this project. The main reason why we're here, as I said, Todd wants to have a look at, but there's no street view, as I said, up where this house is, and we want to go and sort of have a bit of a round. So this would be Macro would be one of the shopping centres that would be where he'd buy, his monthly supplies for, because it's a Macro.
Yeah, most of the stuff is bulk here, right?
Yeah, it's all bulk and carry.
I think I came here once before I knew what kind of a place it was, and I needed some salt. I just wanted to get a shaker of salt. And all they would offer me was like 12 giant shakers of salt. So what am I going to do with this?
Yeah, I know. Well, you got the 7-Elevens and everything else. That's the other thing. We've got Salaya Food Park here. That's something for, you can come down here at night time and eat his food. So we're just going to take a bit of a wander around. Of course, as I said, one of the things we don't have, we are doing some experiments right now to mic up for conversation in helmets. We've actually found a neat way to do that without mesh and without like a Wi-Fi connection to each of the helmets. We can actually do it through Bluetooth and into my Discord channel. So that's an experiment that we've done some partial testing for. I got some kit coming in about 2 weeks, which I'll fit onto my helmet. But it means the fact that we can have brand agnostic communications between different people. So long as the kit has a Wi-Fi connection to your phone, which will then have your Discord app, we can have continuous conversations via 4G. So that's a little experiment we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks when that kit arrives. Anyway, I'm now going to change all the microphones off, put all the headphone shit back on. So we've spoken to Bolt. We'll still be talking, but of course in the micro, I'm not going to do the swapping microphones in and out for the rest of the trip. So stick around while we'll go and do a bit of a ride around. Okay, we're going to do one of those U-turn things down here. There's nobody on the gate, but let's do it the right way. Let's go out the motorcycle area. Yeah, so we need to go that way, but we're going to go down there to do a U-turn. So. he seems to indicate he wants to turn right there, left there. He's not going anywhere. I think he's waiting for a car in front. Yeah, it's a motorcycle repair shop. Looks like there's some e-scooters there as well. This is the Salaya Public Hospital. That was the only marker we had. Actually, that's where I got to go. On the Google Maps, I think the Google Maps came to about this side of the little rise there where the Klong is, and they didn't take it any further. We can only just determine what the house looked like from the photos from a distance. Again, part of the investigation was to sort of see how and where things were. They've got a gatehouse here, but nobody in it, of course. Yeah, we could see this photo in this house here. They could definitely do with a lick of paint. So, like, this is where I get the trouble. What does the sign say? Hard to tell, isn't it? Yeah, so we only had, the photos didn't really do it justice, but at least now we got the wide angle camera that we're used to looking through. Definitely needs some work on there. You're going to try and translate that? I don't think it's going to work, is it?
See non. So yeah, that's, and let's see, that's Nam.
Yeah.
Song Nam.
Song Nam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they want, it's got a balcony there. It's got a strange little bird nest. Looks like it's going to get two-phase coming in. There is, looks like they've got a fibre cable. Is that a fibre cable? It is. So it looks like they've got fibre in the joint. That'll make a big difference.
This is house rent. 4 bed, 2 bath.
I don't know what does a 60 mean? On the real estate sort of site, it was 15,000 baht per month, 1 year lease.
Maybe month?
It was 15,000 baht, 1 year lease, but I said it could be a long term, and so he was going to try to negotiate a 3 year or something. But yes, what we didn't have a look at, we couldn't see it from the front of the house, so now we get to have a bit of a look around. Not quite sure. So is that part of the yard at the back there? It doesn't look like that. Looks like a separate yard towards the back. I'm just looking at these clouds here, trying to time these things so we don't get soaked. Can't work out what that back section is. I don't think that back section is part of the house. Then again, it may be. You know, sort of, he wants to be this side of the border. He doesn't want to deal with immigration. So, yeah, there's definitely a wall across the back there. So it looks like it's been subdivided. The block of land's been subdivided, and there may be something goes out the back. But yeah, it's not in great condition. It's a fixer-upper.
I tell him to start with a small apartment, especially if he's used to close quarters. Start with a small apartment for 6 months, and then
work from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the thing we got to look at.
This, I think, you know, it could be a nice enough setup, but it seems like it'd be a lot to dive into, especially if you've never lived here before.
Well, he's retired. He says, you know, part of his day you might even work a deal with him to, you know, do the painting and decorating inside just to lower his rent for a year, you know.
Oh, I get that, but what kind of negotiation? What are his language skills like?
Well, he's actually coming here to learn Thai.
Okay.
So he did learn language for when he was in Afghanistan. He learned a language there. He's been in Japan. He's learned a language there. So his language learning skills are way better than mine. You know, he's got the synaptic, you know, connections there to learn language, whereas I just can't be bothered. But yeah.
Hey, if he's the kind of guy who likes to dive into the deep end, you know, this could be right up his alley.
Yeah, but as I said, he's still looking. You know, this is just something we couldn't, you know, with the ones we've come across.
You want to see it. Yeah, you want to know what kind of options he has.
Yeah, what we've found before is the fact that, you know, like, you don't get many listings. And this is what me and Chanya need to do. We need to run around and find all these places with the signs in the front, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do. That, you know. They have one price for the real estate agent, but now we've got a phone number.
When I found my place the first time here, I started asking people, do you know anything? Do you know any places to go? And I got just crap advice, and so I just went walking.
Yeah.
I looked for a complex and asked them, says, do you have any rooms? And either they did or they didn't. Then I'd ask them and says, what other buildings are there around here? Yeah. And then I'd walk to the next place.
That's it. It's a sort of a very much a word of mouth thing. Yeah. There's a few listings on, I think, DB Property out this way. There, you know, a couple of those just don't even bother knock on Panton. But so we found a few. But as I said, it just comes down to, you know, more, you know, situational, and we've got rain coming in, so what's that going to do? I think we might have to get going again. Anyway, I'm going to finish up the video here, and we'll do a bit more ride around just to, and
yeah, I'm going to put my camera in the bag too.
Yeah, so, and of course, you know, looks like rain, so we better put the gear away, so otherwise that'll get wet and we won't be able to do much. Anyway, as they say, peace out, guys, and we'll catch up with you next time. Bye for now.
I want you to